Whoa, look at this. I like this place. So many well-preserved ruins. We can divide the country in 3 by elevation. Let's finish the Sri Lanka adventure by calming down and relaxing. I'm Camilla. I make travel and geography related videos, and today we are zooming in on Sri Lanka. Yes, Sri Lanka, an island packed with history and a capital city with a really long name. Let's zoom in. Sri Lanka is an island country in South Asia. It does not border any country, but India is really close, especially if you zoom in on the Gulf of Mannar and Palk Straits. To the northeast lies the Bay of Bengal, to the south lies the Indian Ocean, and to the east we find the Laccadive Sea. The largest island of Sri Lanka, besides the island itself, is Mannar Island, linked to mainland Sri Lanka by this road. The second largest island is Velanai on the northern tip of the country. Not all the way on the northern tip though. The northernmost point lies here, close to Point Pedro. The easternmost point lies here and is called Sangamankandi Point. And there is a beautiful beach and lighthouse. The southernmost point is called Point Dondra. And not far from here lies the Dondra Lighthouse. Wow, they really like to show their extreme points with lighthouses. The easternmost point lies far north and lies on this little island. Sri Lanka is the world's 120th largest country, just bigger than Lithuania and just smaller than Georgia. However, with about 21.8 million inhabitants, Sri Lanka comes in number 57 in population. So we can expect it to have a pretty large population density, and yes, there are 332 people per square kilometer. So Sri Lanka comes in number 25 in population density. In 1960, life expectancy was 59.4 years. In 2019, that number has climbed up to 77 years. That's more than 17 years in increase. The capital city of Sri Lanka has a long name. It's Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte, or commonly known as Kotte. It is the administrative capital and is located within the urban area of Colombo. In this region of Sri Lanka is where you find the other biggest cities, like Dehiwala Mount Lavinia, Moratuwa, and Negombo. In Hindu mythology, the land was called Lanka, simply meaning islands. Sri means resplendent, which is a word that I don't really understand. According to Google Translate, synonyms are gorgeous, stunning, and magnificent. Well, that's a beautiful meaning. Official languages of Sri Lanka are Sinhala and Tamil. And Sri Lanka in those languages are respectively Sri Lanka and Ilankai. I know I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of words here. But now we're zooming in on the capital, Kotte. Okay, here's the capital city of Sri Lanka. And what I noticed is there are a lot of other towns lying around. And a lot of water. Close to the capital we have a public cemetery, Osmo Fitness, here's a park. But let's zoom in here. We have the Parliament of Sri Lanka, lying on an island. I wonder if this island is man-made or if it's natural, I don't know. Diavana Lake. Let's see if there is any street view here. Okay, there is street view. Let's start at the front. Oh, and we are inside. Inside the parliament. And here are pictures of people. Not sure who they are. Many of them are wearing white. It's a long corridor. Lots of other pictures on the walls. Look at this. These look pretty old. Some furniture and more pictures on the wall and an entrance. Interesting. Yeah, and you have to be careful here because the floor is wet. Alright, I want to see what this looks like from the outside. Let's try it there. Okay, here I get an impression of what this looks like from the outside. First, we can see really far. We can see tall buildings in the background and some forests. This is a really open space, I like it. And here's some water. Here we can see the building. Whoa, look at that ceiling. That's pretty cool. That looks like a door. Really big door. This is a fancy place. No people here, but that's fine. That's okay. I kind of wonder what this looks like. The Parliament ground. Just gonna go on this road here and see what it looks like. Oh, it's really green here. Yes, many trees. Beautiful road. Well maintained, really pretty grass. That looks good here. Look at that little car. That's a cute little car. Oh, there are more of them there. So I guess the parliament should be in this direction, I think. It's time for landscapes. Let's start with the topography map. What I first notice is that the elevation rises as we go inland. We can divide the country in three by elevation. First, the coastal lowlands. The elevation varies from sea level to about 270 meters, and this zone forms a coastal belt that surrounds the islands. Here we can find beaches like this really long one in the north with so many palm trees, as well as lagoons, a shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water like here, here, and here. The second zone is the plains. Elevation are from roughly 270 meters to 1060 meters, and here we can find the country's smaller mountains, valleys, and hills. This zone takes about 30% of the island and is covered with vegetation like palm trees, banana trees, different kinds of bushes and grasses. The third zone is the Central Highlands. It characterizes the central part of the island. The elevation varies from about 1060 meters to over 2500 meters. Here we can find the high plains, plateau, and mountains. This picture shows the beautiful landscape here. The tallest mountain of Sri Lanka is called Piduru Talagala and lies at an elevation of 2,524 meters, or 8,281 feet. It is home to the country's radar system, and there is a road going all the way to the top. Here you can see the view. Rivers! The longest river in Sri Lanka is the Mahaweli River. It has its origins, of course, in the Central Highlands, in the Kanti district, not too far away from the tallest mountain. Its drainage basin covers almost a fifth of the total area of the islands, so this is an important river. The river streams north and empties out into the Kodiyar Bay. Lakes. One of the largest lakes in Sri Lanka is the Kalawewa. It is a reservoir, so it is man-made, and it was made by King Datu Sena in the year 460, and it served as one of the largest irrigation tanks in ancient time. Now it offers beautiful views, and at some places you can go for a swim or pedal a boat like these guys are doing. Another lake I want to mention is Gregory Lake. It was created by the British governor Sir William Gregory in 1873 to provide electricity. Recently, the Sri Lankan government has given the lake a facelift by offering different kinds of activities like boat rides, paddle boards, pony rides, jet ski, and windsurfing. And as we can see on the map, there are many restaurants and accommodations. Let's do random street view. Okay, small country, but there are a lot of places we can go. I'm just gonna be as random as possible. I'm just gonna zoop and boom, there. Where are we going now? Alright, we landed here. I just see a big tree there. Grass. Some wetlands. I guess we are in the plain zone. We are inland, but there aren't really tall mountains here yet. And look at this though. I wonder what kind of plant it is. It reminds me of lotuses. Maybe they are lotuses. I don't know. Probably a lot of animals living here. I can imagine birds flocking here too. Yeah, it's really flat right here. And here is a house with a bus in front and some flags. Not the Sri Lankan flag, another flag. There's a pink building. Good, let's move on to another place. By the way, this was called Maninga Muwa Wewa Wawe. If you know what this means, you can comment in the comment section and tell me. So I thought this was an interesting place. Okay, you know, I like mountains and I want to see some more of those mountains. I'm gonna try there. Maybe you will see some mountains and maybe not. Whoa, look at this. I like this place. Yeah, let's just check for the mountains first. Okay, this is definitely hilly. There's this waterfall and a small little lake. Maybe you can go for a swim here, if that's safe. So many plants and mountain and rocks. It looks really wild. Oh yeah, and the water is falling down here. This could be the start of a river. Yeah, really, Sri Lanka has a lot of rivers, and many of them start in the mountains. Tall trees. Cool. Thank you, Street View. This was good. Opposite side time. I put my ruler in the capital city Kotte, move it for 20,000 kilometers around the globe, and we land in the Pacific Ocean. I believe the closest land is Isla Isabela, part of the Galapagos Islands, part of Ecuador. Now, time for travel suggestions. As I've never been to Sri Lanka myself, I asked you guys for some help here on my Instagram account, and wow, you gave me some great travel suggestions. Let's start our Sri Lanka adventure at Bandaranaike International Airport. From there, we are looking at the travel suggestions that Madhyak28 has for us. First, Anuradhapura. It is one of the ancient capitals of Sri Lanka and is famous for its well-preserved ruins of the Sinhala civilization. You can visit the Yetavana Ramaya. It is a stupa, a Buddhist monument, and it used to be the tallest stupa in the ancient world and has a grand historic significance to Sri Lanka. You can also visit the Yaya Sri Mahabodhi, a sacred fig tree. It was planted in 288 BC and is the oldest living human-planted tree in the world with a known planting date, and is one of the most sacred relics of the Buddhists in Sri Lanka. There is so much more to see in this city, but we are moving on to another town, Polonnaruwa. Its old town is known for well-preserved ruins of the ancient city, including the Dalada Maluva. I can show you around here. There is so much to see, so many well-preserved ruins. It's amazing. Another place to visit in Polonnaruwa is Galvihara, or Rock Temple, where you can see Buddha statues. The next place to visit in Sri Lanka is Kandy, and I want to show you the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. It is a Buddhist temple located in the former kingdom of Kandy, and it has a really important Buddhist relic, a tooth of the Buddha. It is kept in a gold casket. As well as this main temple, there are a series of smaller temples and museums. A lot to see here too. Now we have visited many temples and seen historical sites. Let's finish the Sri Lanka adventure by calming down and relaxing. The last place I want to show you is a suggestion by Khan Kainar. It is a small and tropical village with many accommodations and restaurants, and a beautiful beach, which attracts surfers. You can lie down at the beach and take a swim in the water. I like this picture, the water is beautiful here. Sri Lanka is a small island, yet with a varied landscape, with beaches, lagoons, mountains, lakes, and there are a lot of temples to visit. We just scratched the surface of this South Asian country, and I hope you guys learned something new. These were some geographical facts on Sri Lanka. Next time we're gonna go to España, Spain, and we're zooming out. Thank you for watching, guys.